depressing week for English football. We needed something to lift the spirits, and the Premier League didn't disappoint. 6 games on the way for tonight's two-ball, Alan Shearer and Jermaine Genius. We start at the Liberty Stadium, where Swansea, who've not won since the opening day of the season, face an in-form Liverpool side, chasing a 4th straight victory. Commentary comes from Simon Brotherton.
Swansea haven't won at home in the league since the last time they hosted Liverpool back in May. Then Jurgen Klopp's side were preoccupied with the Europa League semi-final against Villarreal. Now they have a laser-like focus on the league and form that Swansea and their under-pressure manager Francesco Guidolin can only dream of. There's one change for the home team today, with Fernando Llorente missing the match because of a rib injury. It means Borja Baston, a summer arrival from Atletico Madrid, makes his first Premier League start. Federico Fernandez isn't fit enough to return yet, so Mike van der Hoorn continues alongside Jordi Amat in central defence. Dejan Lovren returns for Liverpool after missing last week's win over Hull with a virus. Ragnar Klavan drops to the bench. Loris Karius keeps his place in goal ahead of Simon Mignolet a week after making his Premier League debut. And Divock Origi is named among the substitutes after recovering from a foot injury. Swansea City with just 1 point from 9 at home so far. That point accrued in a 2-2 draw with Chelsea, but they've lost a couple at home already. Rangel getting up well there ahead of Milner, and Routledge with a bit of space to run into. Rangel on the outside if required, and Routledge hits a Borja over the top of the bar. First chance of the game falls to Swansea, and it was a good one too. But Borja, making his first start in the Premier League, couldn't guide it in past Karius. An excellent early chance for Borja Baston. Milner in ahead of Wayne Routledge. Swansea competing here, and now Gylfi Sigurdsson forward, flag stays down. Borja Baston now racing through. Sigurdsson's inside the penalty area, but suddenly found himself surrounded as red shirts came piling back into the box. Promising there from Swansea, just about onside. Sigurdsson, Karius stays on his line, back into the near post, and it's in! Prodded over the line by Leroy Fer. Swansea City have the lead after 7 minutes. Just the start they needed. The pressure's really on. They haven't won since the opening day. And what a confidence booster this could be. The ball headed back in at the far post, flicked in towards Leroy Fer, who added the finishing touch. It was a tight one. I think he's just about onside as the ball comes over. Maybe it deflected off Lovren anyway. Another game goes by in which Liverpool have failed to keep a clean sheet. They haven't managed one at all so far in the Premier League this season. It hasn't mattered though, has it, with the number of goals they've scored at the other end of the pitch. Lallana's taken a whack and stayed on the ground. Boot on the leg for Adam Lallana. Adam Lallana may have to come off here, it would seem. Forward by Milner, straight onto Jordi Amat's head. That'll be a free kick for a foul by Henderson. And I should think he'll go into Mike Oliver's book here. First yellow card of the game. Liverpool not really enjoying this first half. Gylfi Sigurdsson with the kick for Swansea. Oh, and it was another chance to make it 2. And Borja, with his second headed opportunity of the game, can't find the back of the net. Steve Kaplan and Jason Levian, the owners of Swansea City, here to watch the match today. I'm sure happy with the start made by the team. And there's the man whose side haven't won since the opening day against Burnley. Matic with a delivery into Firmino. This is Sturridge. Down, no penalty, and a free kick for Swansea City, and it'll be a booking here for simulation for Daniel Sturridge from Mike Oliver. Sturridge bursting into the box, felt the touch on his chest from the Swansea defender. It wasn't a heavy touch, but there was a touch, and Mike Oliver saying no. And Klopp will be disappointed to see that his team haven't had a shot on target in the first half. Firmino away from Leon Britton, and Fabianski required to make a decent save for the first time in the game. crowd certainly getting behind the home team here. Tremendous atmosphere inside the Liberty. Turns into Mane, who's getting into the game much more in the second half. Sadio Mane now for Liverpool. Gets the free kick for the challenge by Leon Britton, who will be booked here by the referee. Ronaldo and Mane are in the wall. Coutinho plants the ball straight into the middle of it. Back in by Henderson. Firmino! Liverpool are level at 1-1. Swansea's defenders all look across at the far side. There's no flag. Firmino celebrates. Liverpool back in the game. 9 minutes into the second half. And as the ball comes in, he's onside. Initially, the ball does its job. It deflects back out off Leroy Fair. And Roberto Firmino is there for Liverpool to score his 4th goal of the season. And Liverpool have taken less than 10 minutes in the second half to come right back in it. Liverpool's tails are up. Nathaniel Klein. Wijnaldum going racing through the middle, but looks really frustrated. The ball didn't come, but it's still with Liverpool now. Mane in towards Sturridge. Coutinho. Wijnaldum. Coutinho! And suddenly, Swansea City are creaking and on the ropes. Much, much better from Liverpool. Coutinho combining with Wijnaldum and not far away from finding the corner of the net. Well, he's looking a lot happier since the break, and no wonder. And suddenly, wave after wave of red-shirted attacks bearing down on the Swansea penalty area. Van der Hoorn challenged, no foul, it's James Milner, back into Mane, and the block is made by Kyle Norton. Van der Hoorn down on the edge of the penalty area. Referee had a great view of that, waving play on, and Mane going for goal. Sees the ball ricocheting and deflecting over the top. Here's Mane. Just hangs in the air, doesn't quite land on Firmino's head. Well, hooked up high in the air, but no distance at all by Barrow, and Firmino tries the shot. Rangel's there, it's blocked. Referee gives Liverpool a penalty. Oh, what frustration for Swansea City. Rangel with a challenge on Firmino. Here it is. Firmino down as he felt Rangel's arms touch the back of his shirt. Liverpool now with a glorious opportunity to take the lead. And James Milner will try and give Liverpool the lead here, and that's precisely what he does. And that could be a hammer blow for Swansea City today. In the 84th minute of the game. Excellent penalty from Milner. And Liverpool lead for the first time today. And they have just over 5 minutes to hang on to it. Swansea City, have they got a final flourish in them to rescue something, or will Sturridge put it beyond reach? Well, he can't. Coutinho brings a save from Fabianski. And Van der Hoorn can't get the ball away. It's back with Coutinho. And Mike Van der Hoorn finally does clear up towards Mo Barrow, but there just hasn't really been a threat from Swansea since half-time in this game. Rangel with the delivery, and it falls to Van der Hoorn, who can't turn it home. Oh, what a chance right at the last moment of the game. Mike Van der Hoorn up from the back with a clear view of goal, and Swansea's last opportunity at salvaging a point has surely gone now.
We need a good result, but this is not a good period for us about result, because performance was good. My players give me an answer of character and qualities in the first half, perfect, spot on. I think the right result would have been a draw.
Did you feel any pressure coming into the game because of recent results? I mean, there is a lot of talk about the manager around here and his future.
Yeah, I think we showed today that we are behind our coach. We just want to win for our coach, and yeah, suddenly we didn't.
I thought we could have done better in the first half. I know we could have done better, and so it was yeah, body language was not good. We were too late in mind. Our build-up was static, and so it was easy to defend us. So we forced from ourselves a reaction in the second half.
We were good enough to respond and manage to get the job done, but we can't do that every week because we'll be punished and it'll be difficult to get back in the game.
When the game is on the line with 5 minutes to go, you have a penalty kick. James Milner is quite a cool customer to have, it seems.
Yeah, I have no idea. I didn't see it.
Really, you still...
I trust you'll be watching tonight, Jurgen. You can have a good look. It was a very cool Panenka kind of penalty. Distinctive halves, Alan, I have to say. It was, very different, wasn't it? Swansea in the first half were pretty dominant, really.
Yeah, they were dominant and they deserved their 1-0 lead. And you can't accuse the Swansea players of not working for their manager, who obviously is under pressure. But Swansea did to Liverpool what Liverpool have been doing to most teams this season. They actually pressed them high. They worked very hard and they forced Liverpool into mistakes, and they basically stopped them playing and didn't allow them to get their football game going. Look, they didn't go in one, so they were passed off. They actually went as a group and they hunted in a pack, and they won the ball high up the pitch, and a decent effort from Fur, who got his goal, and I thought who did very well. Middle of the park again. Look, they're all at it. They're all working for that manager, forcing the ball back to the goalkeeper and just not letting them play at all. And for that first half, they were brilliant. Deserved their 1-0 at half time. It could have been some more.
By contrast, though, the second half, Jermaine, very much belonged to Liverpool, didn't it?
It did. I mean, as good as Swansea were in that first half, I thought Liverpool were poor. I thought their attitude and their approach to the game, I don't think Jurgen Klopp would have been happy with that. And I think there'd have been some harsh words said at half time. Well, you can almost tell there was, because the reaction from the players in that second half was completely brilliant. And that's what you want from your players. You saw there the clip of them hunting impacts to get that ball back. Players making runs now, reactions to get the ball back as soon as possible. Milner was influential, involved in a lot of their good play in that second half. Not giving up on anything, making sure he was putting those Swansea players under a lot of pressure all the time. And when you do that, you tend to create chances. Players were releasing themselves from positions, and then you can break from these deeper positions. And Liverpool in the second half, in all honesty, were very dominant. There was on time and time again players releasing themselves. Swansea just tired, I felt, and they caught them on the ball, on a number of occasions where they could have put them to bed. But they did deserve their 2-1 win in the end. It was just that first half display was not so good.
No, it certainly wasn't. I suppose if Liverpool are to be title contenders, they're going to have to work on their defending of set pieces, Alan, because they're letting a few in those.
Yeah, they are, and that's the third goal this season they've conceded from set piece, and they've conceded too many also from normal play. You've got three guys marking there. You've got Henderson, Wijnaldum and Milner, and the rest are zonal marking. Now Henderson's on for the eventual goal scorer, so he's marking him there. He's his man. So when that ball comes in, he's got to stick with him. Now if he drops to Fur there, he's still got a free header if that ball goes. So Henderson's already lost him. But when that ball goes over your head, you can't just switch off and say, well, that's my job done now because it hasn't gone to my marker. You've got to engage again, and you've got to find out where your man is. Now, Henderson is now 6 or 7 yards off Fur. They lose the header at the far post, and it's a tap-in from a yard out. Now, that is just switching off and thinking, all right, well, I've done my job, someone else is going to do the rest for me. That's not the case. You've got to stay alive and stay alert. When that ball goes over your head, you've got to engage again and see where it goes.
Can they contend?
Yes, they can, yes, definitely.
You think so?
I think so, yes.
Agree?
I do, yeah.
OK, interesting. After picking up just 1 point from their last 3 games, Chelsea were in action at Hull, who've only managed 1 point from their last 4 matches. Martin Fisher was at the KC Stadium.
Those defeats at Arsenal and against Liverpool poured cold water on early talk of Chelsea being fit for a title challenge this season. They need to regroup, and maybe Hull provide ideal opposition. After all, they have only won 4 of 44 meetings between the clubs. Hull's lightning starts the season now a distant memory. Today, Mike Phelan has made 3 changes. El Mohammadi is suspended after his red at Anfield last week. Myler slots in at right back. Henriksen and Mbakani make their first starts. Huddleston and Hernandez make way. Antonio Conte has dropped Ivanovic and Fabregas today. Marcos Alonso comes in at left back, while 4 years after signing for Chelsea, Victor Moses makes his full Premier League debut for the club. Before kick-off, a minute's applause to mark the sad passing of 13-year-old fan Megan Pratt. She was going to be today's mascot, but she died on Thursday after a brave battle with illness. Here's Livermore for Hull. Able to shake off Hazard. Pick out Hull's golden boy of the moment, Robert Snodgrass. 4 goals already this season. The dummy was useful. And Mbakani goes down under David Luiz. Clumsy challenge from the Brazilian. Ideal territory this for Robert Snodgrass. Scored a wonderful free kick against Burnley to rescue a point not so long ago. Takes it on, and the deflection made life uncomfortable for Courtois. Well, the big Belgian had to change direction here. And that is a splendid stop from Courtois. Not the start he was anticipating. Myler. Closed down quickly by Marcos Alonso, but he still found Klukas. Henriksen on for Snodgrass. Cross is deep. It'll drop for Mason. And again. And twice Chelsea got bodies in the way. Important that they did. But Alonso here was sucked out by the need to close down Myler, and suddenly there's a massive space for Snodgrass. So much time. Hull had 2 attacking that. Mason's first shot blocked, as was the second. Matic for Conte. Feeding Moses again. One-on-one now against Robertson, who's backpedaling. Moses again guilty of over-elaborate play there, when the chance was there to get it in the box. Just wonder if Moses might have been caught here as he tried to dance his way into the box. It was Diamandi's challenge. Have another look here as Diamandi makes his move for the ball. The ball's gone, and he caught Moses. On by Mbakani. Snodgrass stopped initially by David Luiz. Diamandi. That's Cahill to get it clear. Livermore regaining it for Hull City so well. Mason with the shots, and Courtois with good hands to turn it behind. But that all stemmed from brilliant work from Jake Livermore, wrestling and battling with Diego Costa, feeding Mason, who's never shy to take it on from distance. And the first half looks like it's going to finish as it started, with a great Courtois stop. Hazard, he's turned away from Diamandi. Hazard for Chelsea, stepping inside Robertson, and it's a good drive, and finally Marshall is required to make a superb stop. This was a dazzling run and a powerful drive. Chelsea unbeaten against Hull City in the Premier League. They've won 6 of the 8 meetings. Klukas. Livermore, oh dear, straight to Willian. Hull City beginning to give the ball away carelessly. Here's Diego Costa. Marshall's come a long way, and Costa hits the post. In goes Conte, and he's blasted it over the bar. Hull City living dangerously there. All stemmed from that careless ball out of defence. And when it was fed through to Costa, kept his feet, got away from Marshall. The flick off Livermore took it onto the post. Hull City would have wanted it to fall to N'Golo Conte, and it did. And he just isn't a finisher. Conte seizes the loose ball once more. Willian to Costa. Costa through the challenge of Davis. So strong, so determined. This is Willian. Can he get the shot away? He can! Chelsea take the lead on the hour. Such an improvement in this second half. They needed it. Whatever he said to them during the break. has paid dividends. Well, that was sloppy from Robertson. And here's the key moment. Costa against Davis. Costa comes through and then uses it wisely. Willian used Hazard as the decoy, knew what he was trying to do, and he bends it in magnificently into the top corner. It's his second goal of the campaign. His last goal was Chelsea's last win against Burnley. Will that goal set them up for a return to winning ways? Hull City 0, Chelsea 1. Alonso finding Matic. And on he goes Matic. And on he goes Matic. Might have to do it all himself. Diego Costa, 2-0! Almost an identical replica to the goal from Willian in terms of where Diego Costa put the shot. His 6th of the campaign. But how much credit does Nemanja Matic deserve? His striding, purposeful, determined run. And Diego Costa knew what was on as the ball rolled his way. It's a long way back for Hull City now. Chelsea rampant. Moses. Sense that Chelsea are almost toying with Hull before looking for this third goal. They might get it now. Willian goes down. Well, no interest from either the referee or his assistant far side. Davis is the defender. He's got the ball, but then he's caught Willian afterwards. That's a penalty. Cahill looking for Oscar, who's on the shoulder of Livermore. Williams up in support if he needs him. Costa is in there too. And Alonso is arriving. He's found the cross, and it's a good one! And Pedro couldn't apply the finish back post when he was scuttling in as quickly as he could. The little Spaniard. Could have been 3, could have been 4, could have been more, but Chelsea will settle for the 2 and the 3 points.
After the last couple of weeks, we've been working different things, and well, we've been conceding lots of goals. I think today the team was concentrated for 90 minutes, and we kept a clean sheet.
You made changes today, obviously. Ivanovic and Fabregas left out. Did you feel that that decision by you was justified at the end of the day?
No, but when you are in a great team like Chelsea, you have the opportunity to choose the best situation in every week, in every game. Then it's normal that I want to win, and my choice are to win.
I've asked the players to learn certain lessons, and I think deep down they are doing that. You know, we slowly but slowly getting there. With 7 points, you know, we have to be pretty pleased with that return, because there's a lot of other teams haven't got that.
The defeats for Chelsea are very heavy, but it's important today a good answer, a good reply of the players, and we must follow under this way.
Yeah, important victory for Chelsea. It's interesting watching Kante at Chelsea. A slightly different role, hasn't he? I mean, he was terrific today, but he's playing a slightly different way than he did at Leicester.
Well, at Leicester, they had less possession, so naturally he was a lot deeper, whereas at Chelsea, obviously, they controlled far more games, so he's finding himself in more advanced positions on the pitch. It was interesting to see him perform at times in these positions, but look, I mean, it's a simple ball out wide, you know, he's getting people involved, but I always like to see Kante's reaction when they lose the ball. This is why they bought him in the first place, you know, because he's always that first one who sets the trigger. I want to win the ball back from my side, and they did that on numerous occasions today. As the ball comes in there, wins the ball, but in the second half, he was the catalyst. He was the one that kind of went, you know what, I'm going to be that driving force in midfield to take this game to Hull now. It's just that when he gets in these positions here, don't quite trust himself. But, I mean, he tries to find Hazard. But yeah, I mean, most midfielders would let fly there. But again, he has got the ability to do it. When he picks his head up and he's got that weight of passing to Costa, lovely little slid pass into Costa there.
Not this bit, though.
The follow-up, I mean, that's where you'd say, you know, he just went to pieces a little bit there. But again, I mean, I have to say, winning the ball back all game for Chelsea in that second half. He was that main driving force for them that enabled them to go and get that 2-0 victory. So, no, it was a good display from him.
And the other positive is Costa's back to his best, isn't he, Al?
6 Premier League goals this season, and today I thought he was brilliant. He led by example today. He played in the right way. He was aggressive in the right way. He brought his teammates into the game. And you know, since he signed for Chelsea, there's only Aguero and Harry Kane that have actually scored more goals, Premier League goals, than he has. He ran in behind, and he was very, very difficult to play against today because he was in that right mood. He wasn't looking to dive around and get other players booked. He was aggressive, as I said, in the right way. A little assist for William there, and everything about his game today I like. This is a brilliant run. He didn't get it, but what he created there was for Matic space. But look at his reaction here. First time, back of the net. Keeper's got absolutely no chance. And when he plays like that, I'm a massive fan of his.
Yeah, terrific centre forward. For Hull, I suppose, you know, they had a good start, didn't they? And then they've gone off the board, but I mean, they're tougher in the fixtures that they've had. It's just perhaps the lack of quality at the end product is missing.
It was exactly that. I mean, for 45 minutes, I felt that they held their own. They passed it around nice. They seemed to have that composure within the right areas of the pitch. It was a very assured performance from them. You know, you could tell that they've played a lot of tough sides because they didn't seem overawed by the occasion of playing against Chelsea. But just little moments like that, when they're in those areas of the pitch, have they got that added bit of quality? When it was very tight in there, Mason played well, Klukas played well, but did they have the options? You know, the ball goes into Mbakani here. When it comes back to Mason, are we doing enough to affect this Chelsea defence? And the answer was no on too many occasions this afternoon. It was far too easy for the Chelsea defence. We've had a tough time of late. The ball would often go back and switch, and more often than not come to nothing. So I just feel that with the run of games that they've now got coming up, I think, you know, they've got Bournemouth away, Stoke at home, Watford away. Although they're still tough fixtures, this is the area of the pitch that I think Mike Phelan and his team need to refine and work on a little bit.
Okay. 2 down, 4 to go.
Into Deeney! Pass through and wide. Well saved by Pickford. Little touch from Barry.
Bournemouth manager Eddie Howe described being linked to the England job as an unwelcome distraction ahead of his side's trip to Watford, who came unstuck at Burnley on Monday night.
If Watford win tonight, then they go above Chelsea into the top 8 in the Premier League. It's a high one. Hendrick with the header down, it's gone in! Lots of questions for Watford to answer about the way they defended that. Right foot across into the mixer and into the back of the net. Keane doubles their lead. Very, very comfortable for Burnley. It's finished Burnley 2, Watford 0.
Steve Wilson was at Vicarage Road.
3 years ago, Troy Deeney scored 3 in a 6-1 Watford win over Bournemouth. That Eddie Howe's heaviest ever managerial defeat. 2 more goals would take Deeney to 100 for the club. It's been just over 2 years since Jack Wilshere played 90 minutes and 6 months since Bournemouth won away. Wilshere starts in an unchanged side. Great to see Graham Taylor here, former Watford manager who celebrated his birthday this week. Nearly 20 years since Bournemouth won on this ground. Wilson with Prödl. And the free kick is given for handball by the Austrian. And a yellow card for Sebastian Prödl, who felt he'd been knocked over and fouled. Mazzari is absolutely livid with that decision from Mike Dean. Prödl thought he'd been fouled, but he knew that if the decision didn't go his way, then his side had a problem, and then he deliberately handled it. Here's Wilson. Well, that's 6 and 1, half a dozen of the other. I didn't see too much wrong with that from Wilson. And then Prödl, knowing that they might have a problem, deliberately handled it. No question about that at all. Mazzari is on a final warning, I think. Smith. Trying a little back heel to find Wilshere, but Stanislas has got onto it. Deflection on the cross. Wilson's header. 1-0 Bournemouth. Callum Wilson nods Bournemouth in front. It's a really smart header from Callum Wilson. There was a deflection on the cross. It's a lovely finish. Good play by Stanislas. Little deflection, I think, off Holebas, but it went onto the head of Callum Wilson, who surprised Aurelio Gomez, who won't be happy with his contribution. It's Bournemouth who lead by 1-0. Now, play on, says Mike Dean, though he's just acknowledged the foul by Smith. Is Igalo trying to turn Arter. Igalo, nicely left by Pereira. Amrabat, good save. Amrabat, excellent double save. Artur Boruc. It's a yellow card shown to Adam Smith for the foul in the build-up. Well spotted by Mike Dean. Holebas really felt that. It was high and it was dangerous, and the left back is still down. But it was a good advantage played by Mike Dean, because Watford very nearly equalised. Nice dummy from Pereira. That's a good save by Boruc, and so is that. Mazzari's birthday today. He's 55, the Italian. Got to be easier ways to celebrate your birthday. Here's Daniels. Wilson and Prödl. Wilson nicked it. It's Wilshere joining him in the area. Wilson stays on his feet. Tees up Sermon, who wastes the chance. Well, Wilson stayed on his feet there, nicked it away from Prödl, and he kept inside. Is that a foul? Others might have gone down. In the end, he teed up Sermon, and Sermon's finish was horrible. You wouldn't want to pick a winner at the moment between these two sides. Evenly balanced, beautifully poised, actually. It's a corner off Daniels. Watford's corner. Called in by Holebas. Prödl, oh, so unlucky. That is fantastic invention from Troy Deeney. Well, what would you say if this had gone in? Well, it's like the old scorpion kick, wasn't it, of René Higuita, the goalkeeper. Pereira. Watford's throw, they're in a bit of a hurry. Amrabat. Oh, he's done so well, beaten Daniels. Deeney! 1-1. Troy Deeney levels for Watford. His 99th goal for the club. One more needed to become only the 5th Hornet ever to reach 100. He owes a debt of thanks to Amrabat for this one. Throw in quickly taken. Amrabat left Daniels and left him far too easily. And Deeney couldn't believe his luck. Well done, Amrabat. And for Troy Deeney, that is a routine finish. It's 1-1. Sermon. Space, Wilshere. Wriggling through, Jack Wilshere! Oh, he's hit the post! It's a lovely little run, but onto the face of the post rather than the back of the net. This is Isaac's success for Watford. The 20-year-old comes on for Igalo. He's got a lot going for him, this young Nigerian. Pereira. Amrabat. Hooked into Deeney! Oh, good save by Artur Boruc. So close here to his 100th, Troy Deeney. Got down quickly and got down low. Artur Boruc, decent save. So Josh King comes on, Jordan Ibe goes off. So on comes the Norwegian international. Artur Boruc with the long clearance. Immediately aimed towards King. It was a strong header by Kabul. Steve Cook here for Bournemouth. Into Stanislas. Sermon lofted in the general direction of King, but the mistake by Holebas. Here is King. He's got good feet. He's got Wilshere in front of him. Josh King going alone. It's deflected. He scored. Bournemouth back in front. Josh King, within a minute of coming onto the pitch, puts Eddie Howe's side back in front. Well, look at this. Two little tricks. Then Jack Wilshere's almost in his way. He says, get out of my road. Hits it. Deflected. Certainly helped it on its way. It's come off Kabul into the back of the Watford net. But it's King's goal, the shot on target. You won't take it away from him. Watford 1, Bournemouth 2. And that's how it feels when your substitution works a treat. Holebas, success. It's a tricky, strong, quick customer. He's got a free kick here out of Adam Smith, who's already on a yellow card. Well, I think Mike Dean's done the right thing there. Not a yellow for me. Free kick. Curled in. Success! 2-2. Another goal from another substitute. Isaac's success with his first for Watford. It's all square again with 25 minutes still to play. It's a really good ball in. It's a cracking header. He's used the pace off the delivery and just redirected it. Impassive for the first time in the game, practically, Walter Mazzari. No one else is. It's 2-2. Great noise now at Vicarage Road. Amrabat for Watford. What a thoroughly entertaining game this has been. Pereira in behind Daniels. Scooped up for Deeney. Boris Kane. Mike Dean says goal, has he? No, he's given a free kick for the foul on Artur Boruc. Well, he pointed back towards the halfway line, the referee. I thought he'd given the goal. No way, it's not me, says Deeney. Definitely onside, Pereira. Lofted up to Deeney. First question is, did the ball actually cross the line? But that became immaterial because Deeney jumped into Boruc, in the opinion of Mike Dean. Cook to Arter. Great run from Smith, right-hand side. King might feed him. Here he is, Smith. Tap in surely. Oh, Wilshire's hit the post again. He's hit the same post in almost the same place. Great run from Smith. Jack Wilshere off the woodwork. And now Jack Wilshere off the pitch. And Dan Gosling comes on to replace him. Stanislas could get this wide now to Smith. Smith running away from Berami. Free kick right on the edge of the penalty area. Prudhoe caught enough of Smith for Mike Dean to give that free kick. It's Stanislas, and he's hit the woodwork as well. Well, 3 times now Bournemouth have hit Watford woodwork. It's a really good effort by Stanislas. 1.5 inches lower, and Gomez would not have got there. Eddie, when you score 2 away from home and hit the woodwork 3 times, you're going to be disappointed.
Yeah, we are disappointed tonight, especially when you take the lead twice. You think that should be enough. I thought it was a game of end-to-end stuff, you know, both teams in it. It was very even, but we had the best chances of the game, I think.
Walter, it is your birthday today. Can you allow yourself a little celebration today? Because the performance today was much better.
No, meglio, molto meglio, bella. We hadn't played better than compared to Burnley, but much better. I'm very happy on this. The players have given me a nice present today with this point. Unfortunately, if they would have been slightly more concentrated in some moments of the game, then they would have given me the 3 points. But I'm happy now with this point.
Obviously delighted with the goal. It's breeding confidence and keep working hard for the team, and it seemed to pay off. But overall disappointed not to take the 3 points today, having took the lead twice in the game.
Can I just ask you what you make of Troy Deeney?
Yeah, he's a handful. He's obviously a strong lad. He's causing the defences all sorts of problems, and he's got his goal today, unfortunately for us. But yeah, fair play to him, and hopefully carries on doing what he's doing.
Yeah, it brings us straight to Troy Deeney. I know you want to focus on Jermaine. He's possibly on the brink of an England call-up. I mean, it's not inconceivable. Harry Kane injured.
Correct, yeah. I mean, Harry Kane injured. You've got a couple of games coming up, against Malta and Slovenia. And, since he's come into the Premier League with Watford, he's been absolutely outstanding. I mean, these clips are just a little montage of what he's been doing for Watford, really, over the years. This is not something new, but I just, find myself saying, we're always kind of asking, could we bring in Andy Carroll in, who's a hold-up man? Well, are they many better at holding the ball up than Troy Deeney? Oh, we've got a lack of leaders, apparently. I mean, he's Watford's skipper, and he leads by example week in, week out. Can he put the ball in the back of the net? He scored 3 in his last 4, and he's a goal scorer. I just, I really enjoy watching him play, and I think the players in and around him enjoy his leadership. He's a handful in the box, he can stick it in and he'll get his head on it. He's good with the ball at his feet. Maybe we've just got an opportunity. I'm not sure.
He's an integral part to how Watford play. And I do like the way he leads that team, and he drags them forward. Obviously Rashford's ahead of him,
Yeah.
Vardy is, Sturridge is,
Yeah,
you said,
we-
Kane is injured. But I think if there is another injury that comes along, then yeah, I think he should be given an opportunity.
Quite close. As for Bournemouth, you know, always good to watch, aren't they? Play some nice football, attacking, score goals, and they're doing okay, aren't they?
Well,
when you consider either the stature and the financial clout of the club compared
Eddie
with
Howe
many of the others.
can be very pleased with their start to the season. 12th in the league, sat on 8 points, and when you look at their next fixtures, they've got Hull, Spurs, Middlesbrough, Sunderland, Stoke. So they've got some chances to pick up
You don't
some
really
points
worry
there,
about
so
them, do you? When you watch them, you think they
very
play
happy.
good stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I think they'll be fine.
Yeah.
I know. OK, West Ham, who've lost 4 in a row, conceding 14 goals in the process, faced a Middlesbrough side who themselves came into the game on the back of 3 defeats. Jonathan Pearce was at the London Stadium.